Evening, everybody. It's Wednesday night at a few minutes after 6, and this is your closing comment for today. It is video number 1221, and I remind everyone to please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Okay, so it was kind of an interesting day. We had a big turn to the downside in the oil as well as the chart on the screen, which is the nat gas, although it only gave up about half of its move. And that was based on the fact that we had a build in oil inventories instead of a drawdown. So I'll get to that in a minute. We also had the mortgage apps, which were down yet again. I don't know how many weeks it is, but it's at least 4 or 5. They were down 6.3% this week. They were down 6.8% last week. They were down 8.1% the week before. So this is really taking a bit of a bite out of the issues here relative to home sales, where there's a deficit in the amount that we have. In any event, the market finished down pretty hard, although the Dow was basically 50% up, 50% down, and it only closed down 144.67, which is barely 0.4%. The big mover was the NASDAQ again. The NASDAQ, and again, for the second day, the biggest loser was the transports, down 502, or 3.33%. Nasdaq was down 315 and change, down 2.22%. The Russell was down 1.5% again, just a little over $29, and the S&P down less than 1%, down 43.97. A good deal of this occurred between the Brainerd mention from yesterday and then today, the FOMC minutes being released at 2 o'clock, at which point people learned that there was a pretty solid confirmation of that hawkish stance and the fact that they're going to roll off the inventory on the balance sheet a little bit more quickly than most people were looking forward to. We had Twitter, which was up early, closed down on the day, but only 14 cents. So we have a stock that has been up 28%. Um, uh, Yesterday, day before yesterday, and then it was up again yesterday. Again, it was up this morning when we first talked about it. Finishing down 14 cents after a 30% run is really nothing to be sneezed at. The thing that was the problem here, everybody has talked about the fact that higher interest rates favor the banks. Well, not so much Goldman Sachs. It closed today 316.70, down 726, and that is a new low for the year, down 2.2%. Carmart, also CRMT 78.70, that was down 2.5%, also a new low for the year. Tilray, that we discussed this morning, which had a surprise beat and a surprise move to profit. Tilray traded as high as $8.15 today, but couldn't hold on to it. It did close at 732, up 29 cents, or 4.13%. And the only sectors of mine that were not down or solidly mixed to the downside were the very defensive um, food supply chain. Biopharma was also mixed to higher, and energy, even though oil was down, also mixed to higher. And one comment on the automobile industry. Bugatti had to have a recall. You'll love this. The recall is about screws and bolts that may loosen and could cause an accident. This is on one Bugatti Chiron. It's a $3 million car, and the recall is for that one that was sold. So, not too much of a problem unless you're the guy who bought it. Okay, as I said, the chart on the screen here is nat gas. And as you can see, we have been straight up since $4.50. Um, 2 days ago, we closed all the way down here at 571. Yesterday, we were up and closed 603. This morning, when we talked, we were up another 7% at 640. 639.40 was the high, and we closed down on the day a third of a cent. So clearly not a big deal, but we are due a little bit of a pullback. This is the way that it has run. Same thing here. Ran from 360 up to 550. This time has gone from 450 up to 640. So, it's due a little rest. Gold was basically unchanged to slightly lower. Closed 1923 down 440, which is really not much. The one that got hurt the most here were the cryptos. The dollar was up, and Bitcoin down 2365. I was actually looking to be a buyer here, could not pull the uh, could not pull the pin on it because it kept on looking like it was rolling over. Um, and it did, ran right back into this blue line, which is the 20-day moving average, closed right down near there, has just opened in the last few minutes, and it's down another, $20. So not overwhelming, but it is back into this area, and it really needs to regain this 5-day moving average very quickly. Otherwise, it looks like 40,000 is probably a decent shot. Certainly 42,000. And as I said, the dollar was up 18 cents. The bonds were down a dollar, and that's really about it. I mean, it was a horrendous day for the mega cap stocks. Of all of the mega cap and FANG stocks, the only one that was up, and it was only up 19 cents, was Caterpillar. So you can't get much more defensive than that. All right, everyone. Have a good evening. I hope you had a good day, and I'll be back first thing in the morning. Tomorrow's Thursday. Thursday's claims day always. Have a good one.